Good morning, everybody. The name's Completator, and as you can see in front of me in my redstone world in the making, my builds tend to be a bit, we'll say fun. We'll call them fun, for lack of a better word. They're small little contraptions that I can kind of just show off. We got a couple in the back there that I was gonna build and then kind of got stuck halfway through, whatever. So anyway, about a week ago now, I saw a video from Zedaf on the Hermitcraft server. He made a 6x6 flush trapdoor, and the way that he was building it, he said that he was going to use music box logic. So he was going to open and close the piston door like you would run a music box. So I figured, what if we took that logic and take that idea to the nth degree, and instead of a 6x6 trapdoor, make a 12x12 trapdoor with music box logic. So, that is the point of this video. It's taken me a very long time to get here, but that's the premise of this video. So check it out. I'll show you how it closes. You can see it closes just like Zedaf's does, in a zipper fashion, and it will also open in a zipper fashion. But what's really impressive, or I shouldn't say impressive, the point of this video was to show off that I open and close them. Can you shut up for a second, buddy? Was that I opened and closed this door using 2 piston feed tapes. So these piston feed tapes work off of this logic. So one of the main problems that I ran into when I was building that behemoth over there was this. So as you could probably tell if you've seen some of my other redstone videos, I'm basically a piston feed tape and observer stan account, but all of my piston feed tapes up to now have only had one block that they rotate around and around. So it'll only rotate one block at a time. And that was too slow for me, even for this thing. And mind you, this thing is not the fastest door in existence. Like, it takes about 6 seconds to close and about 11 seconds to open. Like, look at this thing. But yeah, you know, even though this door was going to be slow by design, I still wanted to make this door as fast as possible. And the way that I did that was by cutting out a few little potential bottlenecks. And the main first bottleneck that I decided to cut out was to use 2 blocks in the piston feed tape instead of 1. Now, that's just because it would cycle the blocks faster and make the piston tapes a little bit more efficient. Second fix was making this repeater here a 2-tick repeater. So, as you can see here, this piston feed tape is just all black, it's all solid. Now, if I add transparent blocks here, that might help out with my analogy to a music box. So, think of it like this, right? The glass and the white glass and the regular glass here, the transparent blocks are basically the equivalent on a music box of just having smooth metal in a location. You know, it rolls through the machine, it hits no times, it makes no noise, it hits no notes. In contrast, these blocks over here, the opaque blocks, are the equivalent of having a protrusion in the music box. So it would be like one of those little metal protrusions that when they pass over a tine, they actually make contact, they hit the tine, and they make a noise. And that can be translated like a so. So you see, glass does nothing to the pistons. Black wool, it does something. Now, the big issue with this piston feed tape was that if this is on 1 tick, watch. That's embarrassing. Watch. See, even though it's cycling through the same block, even though it's cycling through solid blocks, these pistons start spazzing out, and we don't want that. And, stop. And that's because, if you'll pardon the noise, when the blocks cycle through this, what happens is for a brief moment, I'm pretty sure this is true, don't quote me on this, please. But yeah, while these blocks cycle through, there's a moment when they become entities. So, when they become entities for that brief second, you can't run a signal through them, and this repeater will pick up on that. So, in that sense, this becomes a ghetto monostable. I think it's a monostable. So yeah, I took that logic and I applied it up here. As you can see, there are, in fact, 2 blocks getting cycled through at all times. See? Yeah. As you can see, noise aside, noise very much aside, 2 blocks were getting pushed at all times. And we'll see it again. See? Now, what really made this very, very close to being a literal music box was, well, this process. So, as you can see, when these lines go through and they hit this area, so this is like the processing line, right? So when there's a black line, it'll trigger the observers. But also, what makes it different from a music box is that when it changes from black wool, from a solid block to a transparent block, you also get a tick from that. Like you also get a pulse from these repeaters turning off as well as on, just because, you know, observers they detect turning on and turning off. So now into the nitty gritty. So this stuff and the yellow, green, and blue contraptions over here. The blue, we'll start off with the blue. It's pretty simple. It just takes the bow signal. It just takes a signal from the target and pushes it, sends the signal into 2 R snore latches. So again, you've seen this so many times. But yes, powers this dropper, moves the item into this dropper, powers this. You've seen this upside down in my other piston feed tapes in the 03 and 05. But it's it's just the same thing, okay? Pistons push down, block and observer. Observer pushes a signal through the wool into this timer. As you could see though, this timer is actually quite fast, and that's because, hypothetically, these piston feed tapes should only take 1 tick, 2 tick, 3 ticks. It should only take 3 ticks to run, and 1 tick to turn off. So, I originally tried it with 3 ticks. It was very fast, and, well, you really couldn't read it too well. So, yes, I unfortunately had to add another delay, but I think that 1 tick is like the minimum that I can possibly do. So yeah, we've covered blue and we've completely covered red. Blue starts this whole thing, red cycles through the piston tape. Now, what yellow and green do is this. So, yes, I could have just ended it at the red circuit and maybe the blue circuit. But, see, the thing is with piston feed tapes is they don't stop automatically. So what I would have had to deal with would have been that when you hit this target block, these 2 piston feed tapes keep cycling forever. There was no way to stop it until I came up with the yellow and green. So I did a little bit of math, and I figured out how long it would take for a signal to go through all of these repeaters into this block here, and then blah, 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 whatever. I did some math, and I found out that I have to read the signals from the iron line and from the gold line. So I can't say when I want to close this door, I need the piston feed tapes to read this line here because that's the line that you stop on. No, because the signal is not instantaneous. It doesn't instantaneously stop everything. It just can't due to the nature of the redstone contraption. And when you read the gold line, well then this yellow AND gate gets turned off, redstone gets turned off, whatever. This torch turns on and it resets the R snore latch, turning the whole thing off and getting ready for this whole thing to get to get powered again for the next stage. So yellow, the yellow line gets red and the door finishes closing. The iron gets red. I thought I missed for a second, that would have been embarrassing. See, look, iron goes through and you'll see that the lime line gets powered, and everything stops, and the door is opened. So again, I had to take into account some delay. When the iron line gets red, you don't use the yellow AND gate anymore, you use the lime AND gate. And the lime AND gate just does the same thing, turns everything off. So, surprisingly enough, actually, no, I shouldn't say surprisingly enough, this is basically expected from an intermediate redstoner. I had never made 2 AND gates read the same set of signals before, So this was actually surprisingly challenging. Especially because, you know, I couldn't, well, first I was trying to, like, put pistons down here and, like, redstone down here, and it would all interfere with each other, and it was a big mess. Now, this video took me quite a long time to make, especially when it comes to building the 2 doors here, and especially making this stubborn thing, because I had to tweak this many times. So yeah, I know I usually say in the outro that, you know, please do like, comment, subscribe, overall feed the algorithm. But this time, like, I really mean it. This took a lot of time, and it would really mean the world to me if this video actually, like, if this video got some good engagement and got some good views. But yeah, my name has still been very much Completator. It will most likely be Completator when you see me in the next video. Please leave your ideas for the next video in the comments section. I really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys next time.